Mr. Arun, welcome to ActonTV.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
So, Mr. Arun, what is your current role?
So, I'm now president of my own advisory firm, Grove Pike Associates, which advises on climate finance and financial technology issues to large global corporations like MasterCard, Sumitomo Mitsui Bank of Japan, Standard Chartered Bank, AXA Insurance, and a few other think tanks as well as nonprofits.
I would like to learn more from you why it is important for you to be here and what message you have been trying to convey to the guests.
Well, it's a very important conference because Hindu Americans are an important part of the American diaspora, and the values that the Hindu Americans bring to this wonderful society are extremely complementary and I believe positive for the values this country stands for and is striving for in the future. And there are many, many ways in which this community can contribute not only to the life and prosperity of this country, but also take the wonderful lessons from this great country back home to India, where we have much to learn from this great country of the United States.
And how has your work influenced your life as a Hindu American, or how has your life influenced the work that you do?
I've had the enormous privilege of working in international development as the Chief Investment Officer of the International Finance Corporation, and a lot of my projects have involved joint ventures between United States businesses and Indian businesses, as well as giving policy advice to the government of India and other agencies, and a lot of that has been drawn from my learnings here in the United States. But what is most important in my view has been the relevance of what I've learned as a Hindu in terms of having a view of tolerance, a view of inclusiveness, a view of liberalism, a view of respect for all faiths, a view of doing our daily interactions with humanity without any kind of prejudice. These core values have served me extremely well in my international career, but more importantly served me extremely well in integrating in this great society, which is as diverse, as inclusive as any in the world. And despite whatever people say about the United States, I can say it's really a Hindu society in many ways.
Well, there is one thing that you mentioned during the panel discussion, which was the component of climate change and how it is a threat to the economic development of not only the Hindu society and community, but to the world. Could you please tell our audience, our viewers, what your concern is?
Well, climate change is a global concern. I think there is very little, if any, argument around it around the world. The only argument is how much time have we got left, and what can we do about it. So the science is very clear. We all face it. We are today in the beginning of November in Boston, and it is still warm enough to go out without a coat. I mean, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. But more than that, there are many concrete and alarming scientific indications that the world is changing in terms of its weather, and its impact is going to be calamitous in terms of droughts, in terms of rising sea levels, in terms of melting glaciers, in terms of uncertain violent weather. And there is a number of things we have to do very quickly, including reducing greenhouse gas emissions, reducing the carbon footprint of our various activities. But most importantly, I think as a Hindu and as a Hindu American, it brings back to me the whole notion of karma being played out in real life. Where is our karma of really treating our beautiful planet in the most irresponsible way is going to come to haunt us if we don't change our ways. So we are going to mess with the planet by taking its resources and using them for irresponsible consumption in irresponsible ways, it's going to come back to haunt us. And it seems that unless we correct our course, we're in for a really difficult time.
Well, that is scary. It's a concern. Of course, it calls all of us to action. What would you like to tell our viewers in terms of the way forward?
While there are two, I would say, sets of actions, there are some sets of actions around the political level, the policy level, the business level, which, the day-to-day activities of a citizen cannot do. But there are activities that are very fundamental to fight climate change that are the responsibility of each and every person. And the simple message I have is essentially to find a way to essentially use less of everything in your daily life. The amount we consume of everything, how much we drive, how big our house is, how we air condition it, how we heat it, the amount of clothes we wear, the types of food we eat, all kinds of activities. We need to be conscious of the impact we as humans are having on the planet in our personal capacity.
Right.
I think that is the fundamentally most important step that all of us can take.
Right.
And it's something that doesn't require a lot of effort. It does require a lot of consciousness. And I think building that consciousness amongst ourselves, our children, our neighbors, our friends, I think is probably the most important thing we can do right now.
All right. And then, of course, finally, what message would you have for the Hindu community and also for all immigrants about how best to integrate in the United States economy and give back to our communities back home?
Yeah. So I think, firstly, I think we have to recognize that, there is an enormous debt of gratitude all of us owe to our host society, the United States, that we really have to be two things. We have to be excellent citizens that positively not only contribute economically but also socially and culturally to our community, to be more active socially in volunteer organizations, our neighborhood councils, our city councils, our county agencies, because a lot of the Hindu Americans have been very good at business, very good in their professions, very good in the sciences and academia, but they have not really stepped up to the plate on the social, political, and cultural side, which I think is something that we really need to step up. The other thing they really need to do is to become genuinely active and eloquent ambassadors of their own community, of their own country, and to project the correct image of their country and their culture, and the value that culture brings to the society or can bring to the society, which I think will be a tremendous benefit to both India and the United States.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Arun, for your time. It's been a pleasure and an honor listening to your words of wisdom. Thank you for your contribution to the United States and to the Hindu community, Hindu American community, and to the world. And we look forward to engaging more with you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.